what everybody's talking about, the beginning of the French Revolution.
Yeah, right
in
here
America.
in America. Yeah.
Yikes. Brian Thompson, if you've been living under a rock, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, shot dead in Manhattan last week.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor is the words deny, defend, and depose were on the gunman's shell casings.
Right.
That's a reference to the book, Delay, Deny, Defend, Why Insurance Companies Don't Pay Claims and What You Can Do About It.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the American public is... What was shocking to me is that happened.
Right.
And then the next most shocking thing to me was the American public is not only not too worried about it, but almost gleeful about it, it seems.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of like the submarine thing that happened a couple of years ago.
When the billionaires implode.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's really hard to have a lot of sympathy for people, that they don't know personally, and also that they view as being a problem to the healthcare system or as being wicked or gluttonous or overly wealthy in some way.
And depending on who you ask, I'm sure the guy's going to be a martyr in some circles. I know he's got a family that loves him, and we're certainly not advocating any violence as the answer to anything ever. Mm-hmm. And I think the American people are starting to... Here's a question for you. UnitedHealthcare, I think statistically and historically, is the most guilty, whatever infographic I saw, of denying claims.
Yeah. Yeah, they deny the most amount of claims by percentage.
Yeah, is this guy working from the top and going down?
I mean, at the very least...
Who's next on the list? Yikes.
At the very least, this was clearly a targeted attack, and this target was very effective for getting across the gunman's message.
Right. There was an insurance company, I think that same day or like the next day, they had this new procedure all ready to roll out.
Yeah, Blue Cross.
Blue Cross Blue Shield in some states was going to put a cap on how long the surgery could be that they would pay for.
How long the anesthesia would last.
Yeah.
Basically, they would stop paying for the anesthesia after a certain amount of time in the surgery. And
then after this happened...
I think that that's kind of BS anyway, because it seems to me that there are people who don't have medical licenses who are practicing medicine and deciding what people do and don't need in their healthcare, and that seems illegal to me, but whatever. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I can't say what is and is not. It just seems real weird and wacky to me.
Well, and this is just peak late-stage capitalism.
Yeah, it really is.
Your job is to care about the health. When other countries are beating us in terms of healthcare, the system is failing us.
Right,
We're supposed to be the best, damn it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Well, and so does the American public. The memes were out of control. The kombucha girl.
Yes.
Brittany
Broski.
The meme I saw, and she wasn't responsible for this meme, but since she is a meme.
Yes.
Let's see. The two choices, the two frames were with her disgusted expression. The first frame was...
It's a sort of grimace, and then the...
Yeah. The open enrollment was this face. And then the open season was...
Right, funny.
This face, maybe.
Kind of dark.
Maybe.
Kind of funny.
Kind of dark. Again, we don't support. We're just reporting.
There wouldn't be all of these memes and stuff if people weren't fed up and angry at what's been going on.
Right, this guy is sort of like a working class hero.
Kinda.
And that's scary.
Now, I think that once he is caught, because he's going to get caught.
Yeah,
you know.
Want to be very clear that going and unaliving somebody for any reason is not the way to get things done.
Right.
Okay.
I think that it sent a powerful message, and I sure wish that he would have chosen a different avenue too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that his defense is only going to work well for him if he, for example, had a family member or someone close to him who had a claim denied through that health insurer, that ended up,
right.
What's with that
this
person
guy's
dying.
Story? Yeah.
Because if he had something like that, I think he'd have actually a pretty strong defense that a lot of folks would be able to sympathize with.
Relate to.
I also think it's going to be really hard to find a jury pool because realistically, even if they don't know anything about this case exactly, they're still going to have a pretty good they're going to have pretty strong feelings about healthcare, especially if they've ever been denied a claim or if they've had negative experiences with healthcare,
Right. Another meme showed the trolley problem. You know this problem. It's a ethical or moral conundrum. Who do you save? Mm-hmm. Where on one track, it was a bunch of people who have been denied life-saving care in order to maintain high profits. And on the other track, it was the CEO of a health insurance company. Whew.
Yeah.
Hits home.
Yeah.
And then finally, one that I'm just going to say it. This dead CEO story is getting more coverage than UnitedHealthcare ever provided.
Huh?
Ooh,
that's a burn.
Burn, exactly.
Yeah, yikes. Yikes. So I didn't realize when I first saw the pictures of the alleged shooter that it was connected to that case. I thought he was just some random hot criminal.
He looks like a handsome Jake Gyllenhaal, and is he flirting with the person?
That's kind of what I heard.
Right before the
So I basically heard
shooting?
that the gal had said something like, "Oh, let me see that smile," or something like that. And that's when he pulled down the mask and they got the video.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how true that is. Another thing
he does look like a handsome white male in his 30s.
He looks decent, you can never tell from that angle. Maybe he's got a wonky eye or something. Another thing that my brother was telling me about, and he knows quite a bit about guns. So you know how there were the 2 bullets found at the scene that had the words written into them? Mm-hmm. And basically he was saying that the shooter would have had to have put them in the chamber in a certain order to make sure that those 2 were the ones that were racked in between. And also basically that he would have had to manually rack the gun in between each shot because he shot him 3 times. So it would have been shot, rack, shot, rack, shot.
That's cold.
But basically,
that's calculated.
It's very calculated.
That's a cold ass honky.
Yeah, which also tells me that he's going to have a really hard time pleading insanity because there's so much forethought put into this.
Ah, good point.
I'm really interested to see how this case goes once it hits court.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be really fascinating.
Yeah. I do think it's rather telling that a lot of other health insurance provider companies now have removed their leadership from their websites.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I also have noticed a lot of pictures being posted on social media of hey, just so you guys know, this is the CEO of this company, in case you wanted to know what he looked like.
The message has been gotten.
Yeah.
I think. I just realized we haven't turned on our Jack Skellington mic lights.
Oh, no.
This whole episode.
Oh, well, let's add a little festivity to help lighten things up. How about that?
We're going to need it after this story.
Yeah, yikes.